Hey, welcome to Unconditioned Business YouTube channel. My name is Hedi Shah and I teach changemakers to uncondition their bodies, nervous system, and voices from systems built to keep them small so they can stand, speak, and move with sovereign power. And if you're a business owner, run sovereign businesses. I always felt torn between niching down and feeling trapped or keeping things broad and feeling chaotic. If you ever felt like niching down felt like you're suffocating your creativity, this video is for you. Most people think niching down means they need to be cutting parts of themselves, minimizing themselves, or putting themselves in a box. But the truth is, the right approach to niching down can give you freedom, more freedom, not less. By the end of this video, you'll have a framework to think about niching in a new way that allows you to create freedom in your business, focus in your business without feeling restricted and boxed in. When I originally started my business, I was doing a lot of random different kind of clients, and then I had a business coach at the time that really helped me out to anchor who were my ideal clients and who I was serving the best. And that would landed for people who were coming out of rehab and wanted to build strength sustainably. I was fitting the gap between people who went to physio and the people who went to solid strength training, like really having their ass kicked. And that worked beautifully. I grew my in-person business to a level that I had 3 months wait list, and I loved that. But as the time went on, I felt like I didn't want to be restricted to the active rehab space. In that space, people would come with a lot of injuries. They wanted the analytics, they wanted the biomechanics, they wanted the fixes. While I was growing into a different person, because in my own dealing with injuries and concussion, I realized there are so much more into recovering from an injury. The trauma of it, the somatic experiencing of it, and I wanted to bring all of that into my work, but my audience weren't ready for it, and I always felt like I wasn't being able to carry this audience to the direction that I was going. I wanted to work with clients who valued integration, who they weren't only cared about fixing their pain, but also truly understanding the depth of their experience and why they were experiencing that. So they not only understood the why, but also chose to live a sovereign life and being willing to do the integrated work. But then every time I wanted to go into this direction of bringing all of this together, I felt like my branding would be confusing. I felt chaotic and I didn't know where to start, what to talk about. I didn't have that clear audience that I was speaking to like I did in the past. Here's a few things I've done that tremendously changed the game for me. And the first one and the most important one was to turn my own life's work, my own mission into my niche. What do I mean by that? So I always cared about unconditioning myself from systematic conditioning. And that's why I got curious about all the things that I'm teaching now, whether it be the postural restoration, strength training, meditation, mindfulness practices, somatic experiencing. All of that were the things that I was passionate about, and I was studying it originally for my own sake, and then that fully contributed to supporting my clients. So my brand umbrella became unconditioning from systems built to keep us small. And this is a mission that is so close to my heart. And every time I get wrapped up into my head, I question everything, I remember this, and I change gears, and I become more anchored, and I become more sovereign, and I understand my pattern. So I wanted to work with these kinds of people. So I turned this into my brand. And all the things that I'm offering are going to lie underneath that umbrella, that bigger umbrella. I feel that this is a movement I want to create. I want to have audiences, clients, and people that I work with, that they are on the same path. Like I imagine it, we're going up a valley and we're all like doing that together. We're all doing the unconditioning together. And that gives me so much joy. This shift brought so much clarity and so much understanding of who I am and what I want to do in my business. And then also, it gave me freedom to bring all pieces of myself to this brand. The brand is not what you do. The brand is the movement you lead. So my question for you is, what is the movement that you lead? Get personal about it. Really dig down. What is your life's work? What are you here to do for yourself? And for example, if you teach yoga or if you're an artist, like, how did you get to do this? What were all the little things that led you to this point in time? And then what is the movement? What is the cause that you want people to come and join you around it? The second one is niche down your offering, not yourself. As someone who is very creative and I have so many different interests, and I always want to bring all of that into my work and take inspiration from all that to be able to create an immersive experience for my clients and the people who encounter my world. But for the longest time, I felt like, okay, so if I'm constantly offering a movement session, how would I suddenly offer a meditation session? If I'm constantly offering more of those analytical sessions with clients, how could I all of a sudden go into somatic experiencing or dance? You know, the people who come to me for those more of the biomechanical approach to movement, they're not that open to doing a dance, right? So they're more interested in the analytical stuff. That's a completely different kind of texture to it. So people need to be ready to be able to explore that. I'll give you an example of how I do the niching down. So I'm going through a phase of promoting my posture bootcamp. What I did, I spent a couple of weeks putting everything that I know about posture down to paper, or maybe more like typing. And I created a lot of in-depth newsletters on Substack to talk about posture and really pouring everything out of me. And I've always been interested in the intersection of posture and the psycho-spiritual aspect of that. So I started researching even more, studying even more on that regard. And what I did is I created plenty of writing around that. And then I turned that writing into shorter videos or long form video content. And then from that, I create a 3-day experience I called it 3-day mini posture bootcamp on Insight Timer. That was the first time I was running any movement related sessions on Insight Timer, and I was blown away. I was so clear on why I was teaching the posture program. It wasn't to fix your body so you don't have pain. It was about understanding your posture so you become unconditioned from the system, so you can step into your power. And that gave me so much more integrity in the way I present than if I were to focus only on pain. Does that make sense? So what I did now, I did the 3-day, and every day over 80 people showed up. And then from that, so some of them checked my profile, some of them signed up to my newsletter. Now I have a lot of content from that 3-day live that is going to go to my YouTube, to my Substack, and then from that I use that material to sell people my 40-day posture bootcamp, which is a lot more in depth into the experience of what it means to reclaim your posture and step into your power. And then after this period, when that's done, I'm transitioning into voice and embodiment, because I'm a big fan of unconditioning our voice and being able to step and speak about the things that we're truly passionate about, and pulling that apology out of our spine, that guilt from our systems, to fully become who we're meant to be in the world. So I will be focusing on that. I will be researching voice, I will be researching embodiment, I will research all the intersection of it, I will start writing about it, and then create experiences accordingly. So what I offer become the niche. I focus all my attention, all my creativity, all my juice is going to go towards that specific experience. And I spend enough time to be able to add even more value on that specific subject matter. So I'm anchored by the offer that I'm providing, and all the tasks are clear on what I need to be doing and where I'm focusing my attention in that creative process. And I love deepening my knowledge on every subject matter, that I learned, like I could take a certificate. I did a lot of certificates in the past and I tried to do them by the book. But now where I am, I want to broaden. I want to use that understanding to be able to apply it to different subject matter and being able to expand my reach. Not only that, but also being able to deepen my teaching. I know I went on a rant a little bit. I sort of tied the first point and the second point together, but I hope that supports you to understand how you can think about your offering when you have a movement that you want people to join you on. So pretty much all that I create for every offer, I create containers that can hold me, hold my business, hold my focus. So I am focusing on this specific subject matter for the next couple of months. And then even if I need to take a month off, I do. And I realized that I don't like doing regular lives, for example, or regular experiences. I found that to be suffocating and tiring and exhausting, and I begin resenting what I do. But I realized when I actually create these little containers, I don't run lives every single week or every single day. What I do, I run lives around the time that I'm launching a specific thing. And I trust that people who come to my free experiences, they will get so much value out of it. And if they want to dive deeper, they can. The next thing is design a business model that supports your sovereign life instead of feeling that you're boxed in with the niches that you're creating. That's really important, because if you feel like you're consumed by your niche and that doesn't give you the flexibility and the freedom to be able to create what you want, and you're not creatively stimulated, you feel bored by your business. And especially depending on what kind of a person you are, like you might like simplicity, but for me, I like studying things. I like learning new things. I like to have moments of enjoyment every day, to be able to allow different ideas come and meet in the middle so I can create something new from it. So give yourself that opportunity and think about that. How is your business model that supports a very clear messaging, but then at the same time you have processes to scale your business over time? I know this is not directly related to how to create a niche that is not boxing you, but I feel like it is, because if you don't know why you're doing your lives for, if you don't know why you're creating content for, there's nothing to anchor you down on the ground. You feel chaotic. You feel like nothing is clear. You don't know what you're doing with your life. But when you're creating systems and processes for yourself, depending on what chapter of your life you're in, you can set yourself free. I'll give you an example. Right now, because I'm very much focusing on scaling my online business, no longer like more one-to-one per se, no longer trading time for money. So what I want to do is I want to be able to build an audience and being able to create products that they can serve my business later. The example of Posture Bootcamp, if I only did the Posture Bootcamp for the sake of running lives for the audience on Insight Timer, if no one showed up, I would be so disappointed, right? But what I did instead is, like, even if 2-3 people show up, what I'm doing, I'm teaching and I'm recording that material to turn it into something else. And then now I am promoting the 40-day posture bootcamp, and I don't know how many people will be showing up on that. Even if 2 people sign up for that, I will still record those. That will turn into digital product on Gumroad. And then later, as I grow on YouTube, as I grow on Insight Timer, then people can buy those products, because I never know how long would it take for me to grow on YouTube, right? If I grow super fast, then I have products that people can buy if they want to invest in themselves. And if this is taking longer, I'm still generating income in the meantime. Your niche shouldn't ever feel like it's locking you down. It should feel like you're creating an ecosystem for your work. That's why I like that umbrella approach that is like hugging everything, that is holding everything, creating a big container for all the little containers that you're creating. And you're no longer going to feel boxed in or suffocated with your niche. This model fully freed me up. and it gave me clarity. It gave me a lot of creative energy to be able to create in my business. And I know if you focus, if you're a creative person, if you're okay with, let's say, I know some people, they've been a LinkedIn trainer for 10 years and they've done it, only they focus on that particular offering. For me, that is the death of my soul. So I wouldn't be able to do that. So I need a more dynamic business model. So really lean into who you are as a person and what you need. Maybe down the road, there is a period that you want to have kids. That thing is going to change, right? So I want you to really think about what is the movement that you're creating. And in order for you to create that movement, what are the pieces and the parts of that movement? And when you created that movement, brainstorm on what are the elements that are going to be supporting your movement to be able to fully support your community, your world. Now I'm wondering, what has been the biggest struggle for you in your niche? And if you enjoyed this video and you want more business videos like these, please comment down below and let me know that you're enjoying this. Subscribe, and I can't wait to hear how this video is landing for you. And if you enjoy my work and you want to get deeper into other parts of my work, make sure you subscribe to Unconditioned Movement, link down below.